Could you unravel for me the story of by bistu sheyn?
Well, it wasn't any big mystery story. My grandfather, as I said, wrote lyrics for everything and constantly wrote down, if you said something cute in the middle of this interview, he would have taken out a piece of paper while you were talking to him and just wrote a line or two. And the story was always, and I remember my grandmother telling it when we were really kids. They were in Atlantic City, where they used to play all the time, and they were walking on the boardwalk, and my grandfather was flirting, because he was very good at flirting, and he was this very dapper guy. And my grandmother gave him one of those nudges and said to him, you know, Jacob, you're walking with me, I'm your wife. And he got a little flustered, and he said, what are you worried about? You know, by bistu sheyn. And then he literally went, ooh, and he took out a thing and wrote it down and put it in his pocket. And they would meet, he and whether it was Secunda or Elstein, they were constantly in touch, and that was his idea for that song. And he would write out some of the lyrics, and he would usually have a hook in his head. You know, we would hum something like a cat, and then he'd sit down and write this song. And that, I mean, I know that to be.
All right, so
I wasn't there, but I know it to be family.
Family lore. So that's how he got the idea for the song. Now,
that
how did
particular
it get to Secunda?
Well, they were probably writing a show at the time. They were always writing something.
It was called Leben Losnet. You could live if they would only let you. It's a great title. You
know, he wrote those songs like, we'd be sitting at the dinner and he'd take a napkin from the dinner table and write the lyric to what was going to be in the show that night sometimes. I mean, he just was very prolific. And, you know, the famous ones are by bistu sheyn and Mein Steht der Bells and Zogas Menachamol, but there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. People come up to me, they hand me sheet music, and I've never heard of it. I used to call Seymour all the time, Seymour Rexlight, and always say, did my grandfather write this? I mean, unfortunately, it was nothing to them. They didn't think there was ever going to be worth anything.